found genetic technology very interesting, especially since we watched the TED Talk, Genomic Revolution. I thought it was intriguing to know that our future was maybe closer than most of us thought for things like altering human DNA, possibly. I thought of things like Ancestry.com, paternity tests, and a lot of people, conspiracy theory-wise, say, don't get that done. The government has your DNA now. They can clone you. And I always think that's so crazy. Like, we don't have that technology. But the more I was researching it, the more I realized there was a lot I didn't know about genetic technology that was maybe closer to the future than I thought. We were definitely advancing in a lot of technology, scientific. I mean, CRISPR was the first thing that I discovered researching this. Jennifer Kahn does a TED Talk on it, talking about how they figured out how to make sure a gene appears and stays dominant in the next generations, which is genetically impossible to happen naturally, really. So I was looking into that, and she mentions how really anyone could have access to this with the right materials. A high school student with the right tools and resources could have access to this. And the other TED Talk that we were assigned also mentions this, that we could have access, the public could have access to this kind of technology within 10 years. It's kind of crazy. And I think about that and think about war-wise. Well, yes, it would take a lot of time and resources. They have to pin down the gene. They have to pin down the code for it all to then produce the new code and so forth. But some countries might be willing to go to those lengths. And so that begs the question for me, what does this mean for our future? And I think that those TED Talks begin to answer that question, that it is a lot closer than we thought, having access to this technology publicly. So I think on one hand, it's very scary, definitely terrifying if a high school student could send malaria on us, for all we know, just through a bug population, and that could be an option for them in the near future. The TED Talk also mentions this would be very difficult to do, but some people, again, might be willing to go to those lengths. So I think that it's kind of faith in humanity is something that the scientists are hoping for, because if not, you could have a serious problem with that technology. As all technology, it's scary, but it's also very, very useful.